Candle Range Theory Trader back with another video on a candle 4 flip. Just showing how a $100 account could have been grown exponentially using 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So let's go over the setup here. So obviously we have this is the daily chart, candle 1, 2, 3, close below candle 1 and 2. So this is candle 4. So we look for fair value gaps in candle 4. Let's reset this, bring that up. Right, so when the spread calms down, we look for gaps that hold and just keep going. So here's how this day could have turned out for someone who was willing to take the chance. All right, so first entry could have been around, so let's say hypothetically if we have, and I will type this out, and there were a few more entries too, but anyway, I'm just showing the opportunity here, the potential. We start with a $100 account, okay? Risk $50 on a 1-to-1. Okay, all of these are 20 pip take profit, 20 pip stop loss. All right, so we enter around fair value gaps. So this first gap right here, the first entry could have been at, let's just say, between 2040, which is what, 840, to about close to 9 o'clock, right? That one there. So that would have been a win because it did hit right there. Okay, so then your new balance would have been 150. Okay, so you risk 50 to make 50. Now, next, you see your next entry could be off of this gap right here. Let me get rid of them. Well, no, I'll just leave that there. Okay, the next gap was right here. So a good entry could have been right at 2220, which is 10:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if my memory serves. So here, let's just say we risk 75. Okay, this is high risk. Okay, 1-to-1. I'm risking 75 to make 75. Okay, so if I did that, and obviously you see here the trade did drop 50 pips fairly easily. So 150 plus 75 gets us 225. So that's our new balance now. Okay, all 1-to-1. And then another entry did pan out here on this retrace near this gap. If price is near enough to the gap where the stop loss will allow some breathing room for the gap to still exist, then that's fine. Best entry though would have been at 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's say you risk 100 to make 100. Okay, $100 risk on that one. Okay, so like I said, you started with 100, and if that one would have won, then that would have put you at 325. Okay, so that's where we are right now. So obviously the rest of the day did plan out. The gaps did start to get taken as price retraced off the initial low of the day. But since this is still a candle 4, sometimes with candle 4s, price can continue. So this was through London session. So if you came back for US session, right, and now we're on the live, we're about to be on the live chart. So let's just say you can get in here. This fair value gap here did give you some breathing room. And let's just say at this point, you want to risk 150 to make 150. Okay, so it's $150 risk. Okay, 1-to-1. And then it hit. So 325 plus 150 puts you at 475. Right? And then the last one that I wanted to include, let me see, and that entry was at 9:05 a.m. So a little bit before USA or London session started, or New York session started. And then this last trade right here, let's just say you got close enough to this gap. It was at 10:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And at this point, let's just say you want to risk 200. So you risk 200 to make 200. Even if you would have lost, this trade still would have been, you still would have been in profit for the day since you started with $100. But obviously 475 plus 200 puts you at 675. Okay, all 1-to-1, 20 pip stop loss, 20 pip take profit. Okay, so because it hit in very short order. So that's it. You had quite a few opportunities on this one from the start of the day. But really, when you're trading daily chart, the best time to trade really is Asian session, as far as I've seen. We expect a straight drop on candles 3s and 4s. And if they don't, then that could be a sign that you may not be dealing with a legit candle 3. But in this case, it was legit. And as well with fair value gaps near the daily open, those can be good because we're still expecting a red day based on the structure of the daily candle. So we're expecting candle 3, candle 4 just to continue. So we're expecting a red day. So if price retraces near the daily open and then expands again to the downside, if you can catch a gap around there, then that would be awesome. So, but there you go. Those were the entries, some entries, not all of them, but some of them for this pair. Hope you got something out of that. Appreciate you watching. Take care.